Well, here we are, almost at the end of the semester. So I wanted to talk to you and make sure you know what's going on about everything with the rest of our class. And I did post all of this in written form on Canvas, but I thought I'd tell you about it in person as well. So, first of all, assignments. The last homework assignment that you will have in here is the homework from section 10.2. That's going to be a written assignment. So the assignment itself, the assignment page is on Canvas. If you have a printer, you can download it and print it out. If not, you can just look at it on screen and see what it says to do. But that's this homework assignment about the regression lines for the same set of data from the section 10.1 homework assignments. So you'll be working that out on paper and submitting a scan or picture of your work, like how you do with the test and things like that. So that is the last homework assignment. Normally, I give a test over this chapter 8 and 9 and 10 stuff with the hypothesis testing and the correlation and the regression, but we don't have time to have a separate test over that. So that will just be included on the final exam. But I do have a sample test and a review sheet and all of that that can help you to review this stuff. So you're welcome to try working through the sample test or the review problems or any of that to help you get a hang of what's going on in chapters 8 and 9 and 10, because that will be on the final exam. I'll come back in just a minute and say more about the final exam, but first let me talk about the project. So that's another thing you've been working on. I hope by now that you've gotten your work for all 5 of the questions submitted. If not, any of the assignments that are late or that you still have to do, try to get them done by Friday. Friday, May 1st is the last regular day of class, so that should be the deadline for any of your assignments that you still have to submit. Anything you submit after that day, you might or might not get credit for it, depending on when I get my grades in, whether I have to grade it, whether I have time to grade it, things like that. So anything you still need to do, make sure you get it done hopefully by Friday. And normally I finish up the project with a final report that you write in Word. Now, we don't really have time left in the semester for me to make you write up a Word report showing the results of all you did for your Excel project. So I'm not going to require you to do that. Plus, some people have issues getting access to a computer and all of that. But if you want to do that, I have the instructions for how to do that posted here. I've got a sample that you can look at to see what that's supposed to look like. And if you want to try and do that and submit it, you can. If you don't do it, it won't count against you. It won't hurt your grade for not doing it. It won't hurt your grade if you try to do it and do a bad job. If you actually do it and do a good job, it'll help your grade a little. Not enough to be worth blowing off all your other classes to get it done or putting off studying for the final exam, but it's something that I would require under normal circumstances. So you can take a look at what you would have been doing, and you can still do it and still get some credit for it if you think you have time and you want to do that. Now, let me talk about the final exam. I have posted on here, under general information, the final review sheet. Let me show you what that looks like. and you can download that and print it out if you have a printer, or just look at it on the screen of your computer or your phone. But it starts with some information about how the final exam will work. It's scheduled for 3:10 p.m. on Monday, May 4th. So by 3:10 on that Monday, I will send you the final exam as an attachment to a Canvas message, and you will have until 6:10 to work through it, scan your work, and submit it to me. So that part will work the same way as the last test we had when I sent you that test and you submitted your work online. If there's a good reason why you won't be able to take the exam during this time period, if you have an unavoidable conflict, let me know ahead of time so we can make other arrangements. On the final exam, you are allowed to use the card of formulas and tables that comes with your book. If you happen to still have that card in physical form, you can look at that. If you don't have a printed copy, you're allowed to look at it on your computer or on your phone. So just to remind you of where that is what I have posted here on Canvas, important formulas card. So that's the card that looks like, give it a minute to come up here. It's got most of the tables that we've been using and most of the formulas that you will need. So like, for example, there's the formula for confidence interval for a proportion. And there's the 2 pages that make up table E for the standard normal distribution, and so on. So you should have that, either a printed copy or access to it on your computer or on your phone. So you're allowed to use that. If you have your textbook, you're not allowed to really use that, but you are allowed to look at the tables in the back. If you want to use the tables that are in the back of your book, you can use that. And for the statistics final exam, I generally allow students to bring in a cheat sheet, 1 sheet of regular sized paper with whatever you want written on it, front and back. So if you want to write down reminders to yourself, notes, formulas, examples, rules, definitions, anything that you can think of that you think might be helpful to have on the final exam, you can put that together ahead of time and have it with you to look at, to refer to while you're taking the final exam. I will not necessarily be providing you with all of the same formulas that I gave you on the other tests, because you do get to have that important formulas card. So the formulas that are on that card, don't expect them to also be on the test. If you need them, you can just look at the card. So the final exam will be cumulative. It'll cover everything that we've done this semester. There will definitely be questions on there relating to the stuff we've done recently from chapter 8 and 9 and 10, the statistics hypothesis testing and the correlation and the regression, the scatter plots and the correlation coefficients and all of that. And when I test that stuff, when I normally give tests in class, I know that some people have graphing calculators and some don't. So I make the questions the kind of thing where you don't need any special technology or graphing calculator to be able to do it. So like, I won't make you find p-values on the test. I'll just tell you what the p-values are, but you will have to know how to go through the steps and what to do with the p-value, what it means, things like that. So take a look at the sample test and the review questions that I have to see what you'll have to actually be able to do on the test. So hopefully sometime next week, I will put up a video where I talk you through these final review problems so that at least we have some chance to go over them. And if you have any other questions or concerns or things you want me to go back and explain or go over or anything like that, please let me know. Contact me. I can write an explanation. I can make a video. I could, if enough people want me to, or if you think it would help, I could set up a Zoom session or a Teams session or something like that. So if you've stuck with us this far, this online stuff, it's not what we signed up for. We're doing the best we can. I've tried to do the best I can to keep it as close as possible to the educational experience that you would get if we were still meeting in person. So I hope everything has been working for you as well as it can. Again, if you have any questions or concerns, ask me, and have a good end of the semester.